Well, it's another week, another time to talk about matters AFCON. Welcome to another edition of AFCON Highlights. My name is Nashon Oano. Time for us to make sense of the games that were played yesterday. A very tantalizing match that put together Burkina Faso versus the runners-up of the 2019 edition, that is Senegal. Just before we talk about some of the nitty-gritties of the tournament, the following are just some of the things that you're going to be talking about on the show. Remember, the second semi-final game is going to be played tonight. That is Cameroon versus Egypt. Is Cameroon going to ensure that the trophy remains in Cameroon, or we are going to be seeing them knocked out of the tournament by Mohamed Salah's side, that is Egypt? Just before we get to talking about the the post-match analysis of the game yesterday, the following are just some of the fact sheets that you need to understand. That you're going to be starting with the team that played yesterday, that is Burkina Faso. The following is just the fact sheet of Burkina Faso as a team and participation in the AFCON tournament. The following is just some of the things that you need to know. First things first, Burkina Faso missed out in the AFCON tournament in 2019. Apart from that, they were semi-finalists in the 2019 tournament and lost to Egypt in the semi-finals in 2000, and they missed out in the tournament last year, but they were semi-finalists in the 2017 tournament. There was a bit of an error there. Apologies for that. And then they lost to Egypt in the semi-finals of the 2017 edition. Apart from that, the man that has been credited with bringing the Burkinabes to this particular semi-final of the AFCON tournament is none other than Cameroon Malum. The following is just a brief fact sheet about the man in charge of the Burkinabe team. He has been the head coach of the Burkina Faso team from 2019. This is a very interesting discussion that you're going to be having. Out of 25 matches that he has been in charge of the Burkinabes, he has won 12, drawn 9, and lost 4. Prior to him being the manager of the Burkina Faso national team, he has coached in Ouagadougou, RCD Kadiogo, and AS Sonabel. Well, those are some of the things that you need to understand about the Burkina Faso team that played yesterday. I had fancied them going into the finals of the AFCON tournament, but again, there was the team led by none other than Sadio Mane, who showed exemplary performance in yesterday's game. Joining me in studio once again is our African football analyst, that is Eric Shilenge, and we are here to make sense of what happened in the AFCON tournament yesterday. Shilenge, another week, time for us to talk about matters AFCON.
Yeah, sure. It's just the right time when the tournament is reaching the penultimate state, and African football is really looking good at the moment. Yeah.
Looking, and I think we're having this discussion with you off air in terms of just your general overview. I know we are going to come to talk about Senegal as a team, but as a lover of African sports and from what transpired yesterday, what did you make of the Burkinabe team yesterday?
Burkina Faso are one of the best teams at the moment. In the Africa Cup of Nations. They've been really consistent from 2013 when they played the finals. 2015 they also played semi-finals. They finished third. Bad luck, they missed in 2019, but they came back very strong. From the first game, you couldn't expect them to go all the way to the semis, but they've really dug out results. They've done some good job, regardless of what is happening back in Ouagadougou, but they've really held their heads up, and they gave a fight against Senegal.
Looking at the game yesterday, and I think you disagreed with me because at some point I felt like the Burkina Faso team at some point during the game, they lost composure of the game. They kept on missing. Players could not find complete passes in that game. How do you think they fared against Senegal? Were you impressed by how they played?
I was fully impressed, fully impressed by Burkina Faso.
But there were no goals, man. Like,
no, they scored a goal.
Only one.
Yes.
I feel like they should have scored more goals.
No problem.
Yeah.
But remember, it is a side facing Senegal, who has the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment, in Edu Mendy. This is a team that has one of the best strikers in the world, Sadio Mane. One of the best defenders in the world in Kalidou Koulibaly. So, and also this is the best ranked team in Africa. They were the finalists in the last edition. And this is not a team to go underrating. They have quality, they have everything going on their side. Coming to this game, they had only conceded 1 goal. And so when we have Burkina Faso facing, this is a giant, you know, and regardless of the result, I think they gave a good fight of themselves. Yeah, there is a time they gave Senegal a lot of pressure, that the game was 50-50.
Yeah.
And just apart from the 3 goals that I feel they were technically scored, I think the quality made the difference. The quality.
Yeah.
But Burkina Faso gave in everything. I can really forgive their performance. They did everything they could to win the game.
Yeah. Even though they lost, I think one thing that was quite commendable from their game yesterday was their counter. Because at some point during the game, I felt like when they had control of the ball past the halftime, it looked a bit threatening for the Senegal team.
Yeah, until the 70th minute when Senegal scored their first goal. It was 50-50.
Yeah.
It was 0-0, and in fact, many were seeing as an extra time situation or even penalties, because everything they matched one another toe to toe. Just apart from now the nitty-gritties of the individual brilliance, when you face a team like Senegal, and which has only 1 player playing in the Ligue 2, French Ligue 2, all the other players are littered all over Europe, in the top leagues, in Premier League, in Bundesliga, others in Serie A, and even La Liga.
Yeah.
So you are playing against a galaxy of stars, and really to string a team that can prevent Senegal running riot until the 70th minute. I think Burkina Faso did a good job. They deserved something out of that game. Just that bad luck. It was a semi-final, and there was nothing apart from a win that Senegal expected out of it. Okay,
I think this is a perfect time for us to segue into some of the fact sheet of Senegal in the AFCON tournament. Now, Senegal in the tournament, in this year's edition of the AFCON tournament, Senegal have scored 8 goals in 3 knockout matches, and they've only conceded 2 goals in the tournament. Shilenje, when the AFCON tournament was going on, and I'm going to come back to you, I think we're going to look at the profile of the coach, that is the man himself, Aliou Cissé. Aliou Cissé was appointed to the Senegal national team in 2015, qualified Senegal to 2018 World Cup in Russia, and was a finalist in 2019 AFCON in Egypt, and has managed 63 games, won 48, drawn 14, and only lost 10. Shilenje, back home, the conversation that has been there from his former teammates, that is the likes of El Hadji Diop, is the conversation has been, I think we need Cissé out of the team. Do you think, and we're going to come back to how the performance of Senegal in the AFCON tournament, looking at Aliou Cissé as the coach, do you think he has the energy to go all the way? His tactics, do you think they're going to match up to the final this time round?
He should. He should. And when we began this analysis earlier in the months, I told you that this is the year Senegal need to win this AFCON, because they have a good team, they have a good manager, they have everything going in their side, and for long they've been touted as the giants of African football. But remember, you are not a giant without a trophy.
True.
So they need a trophy, and this is the time. I can understand the complaints that is being fronted by the legends, that Cissé, it is his time. because they've been patient enough for him.
Yeah.
From 2015, he's really brought in a good team together. He's held this team for about 5 to 6 years. And that is enough time for him to bring a trophy home. So this is the year that Senegal has to win. If they don't win this AFCON, then I think that they need to be stopped. They should not be called African big boys, because what qualifies them to be in that gap if they don't have a trophy when everything is working in their side? They need to win this.
So if they want to chill with the big boys, they have to win this.
They need a trophy. There's no way about that. Cisse has to win a trophy, and I want to be sure if he doesn't win this AFCON, there are going to be so many question marks over his career at Senegal, because already there are talks and rumors of the South African coach Pitso Mosimane at Al Ahly. There are several talks that Senegal have already approached him in case Cisse doesn't perform. So this is his time. He has to show why is the Senegal coach. Okay.
And I think the world of football is very harsh, because you're looking at somebody like Cisse. He's played 68 games. He's won almost 40 of those particular games. And then when he loses something like this, then he's like, you know what?
No, but how do you account a team like Zambia is an African champion, a team like Congo, a team like Ethiopia? Those are African champions. And Senegal is nowhere near those, because without a trophy, they're not a champion. Look at the kind of players and talents that Senegal has produced across Africa, across the world. They have so many stars in that team. If these small teams can be able to win a trophy, why not Senegal? Why not Africa Cup of Nations? If Mane, the likes of El Hadji Diouf have been voted as the best players in African football, then where is the trophy to justify that? They need to win.
And speaking about Senegal, maybe as we wrap up the conversation on Senegal and Burkina Faso, there are two players that actually stood out in the game yesterday. I'm talking about Diallo and I'm talking about Dieng. Both of them are players who are plying their trade abroad. Actually, Diallo plays for PSG, and Dieng is also playing his trade outside Europe. How would you say the future of Senegal football looks
Actually, I feel these are the youngest players in the squad.
Because they were born between 1994 and 2000.
Yes, so they still have some days with the national team. If you look at the general view of the Senegal squad, most of them are aging, 28, 29, 13. So most of them will not be there after the next edition. The likes of Mane, Koulibaly, Mendy might play the next edition of Ivory Coast as their last tournament. That is their best days. And I feel like Dieng and Diallo are now coming in to step up for the team. They are going to replace these other players, the likes of Idrissa Gueye Ghana is also aging. And I feel they have a future in this team. So if they can help Senegal to win these tournaments, they'll have a very big say in the team going into the next competitions like the World Cup, the next AFCON, and the other preceding tournaments. These are the future of Senegal team.
So let's hope they're going to continue the form going into the final, because they've already booked their slot. And shifting gears to the games that are going to be played tonight, that is a major game is going to be played tonight. Just to mention, I just have to take a moment to reiterate how important and how big this game is. Egypt, who are African giants in football, are going to be squaring it out against Cameroon. Both teams have a lot of pressure hanging on their heads. Remember, Mohamed Salah from the Egyptian squad has that responsibility of delivering the AFCON trophy to the country of Egypt. And also the Cameroon side, they also have a lot of pressure. Remember, Cameroon is the country that churned out the legends that we know in African football in the names of Samuel Eto'o. So it's a really big game, and all eyes are going to be focusing on the game that is going to be played tonight at 10 p.m. Just before we get to talk about some of the nitty-gritties of this particular game, it's important to mention a few fact sheets about some of the facts that you need to understand about these two teams. And you're going to be starting with Egypt. Now, Egypt has won 7 times, and Cameroon has won 5 times in their previous encounters. Now, Egypt beat Cameroon in 2008 finals 1-0. And Egypt is led by their coach, that is Coach Carlos Queiroz, who has played 16 games, won 11, drawn 2, and lost 3. Shilenje, let's start with the Egyptian squad. I feel like in as much as we would want to talk about other players in the team, the one person that probably stands out is Mohamed Salah, because everybody feels like he is the one to captain their team into going into this game. So going into this game, what do you think will work for the Egyptian squad that has worked for them previously, especially in their recent game with Morocco?
This is a very huge responsibility for Mohamed Salah. The African Player of the Year at the moment. Has really been top of his talent in the last 3 or 4 seasons. And he needs also to justify why he's the best player for Africa. He needs also to justify why the Liverpool coach, Jurgen Klopp, has been calling for him to be the best player in the world for the Ballon d'Or. He needs to justify why, because he's been performing for Liverpool in Europe, in Premier League, in everything. But I feel like his performance has not been really transformed into the African game. So what can he do for Egypt? What can he do for AFCON? What can he do for Africa? This is his time. And Egypt, yes, they are in the semi-finals, but they've not been having a very good performance from the group stages. They only have 4 goals. They're coming against a Cameroon side who has scored 11 goals. They are running riot. Vincent Abubakar and Toko Ekambi doing very good in terms of giving Cameroon goals. And Egypt has only 4 goals up to now. So they have a lot to prove on their head, especially for the strikers. Talking about Salah and Trezeguet, they need to really come up. And I feel maybe where they win the game is on the counter-attacks, because they have a lot of fast players in front. And if Cameroon make mistakes, that is where Egypt will take full advantage of them to come up and win this game.
Okay. Just a brief, just before I get into what I wanted to ask you about the Cameroon squad. The Cameroon squad, just to mention, beat Egypt in the 2017 final. Apart from that, they currently have the highest goal scorer in the tournament, that is Vincent Abubakar, who has 6 goals. Apart from that, we have Toko Ekambi, who has 5 goals in the tournament, and in the previous 9 matches with Egypt, Egypt has won 5, Egypt has won 5, Cameroon won 2, and drawn 2. Shilenje, there's a lot of pressure on the Cameroonian squad.
This is where we have the elephant in the house.
So they have the huge responsibility of convincing us why it was important for them to host this year's edition. And I think you mentioned this when you're talking about Egypt. One of the key skills that the Cameroon squad have is they have really strong power forwards who are able to push the game forward. But then looking at a team like Egypt, Egypt have a very strong backline. What do you think they need to change going into this particular game?
We are having a situation now where we shall have a best attack playing against one of the best defenses in the AFCON competition of now. And we really need to see who can come up against the other one and carry the day. Vincent Abubakar and Toko Ekambi have scored 11 goals between themselves. Coming to Egypt, they've only conceded 2 goals up to this level. And the beauty of the game is that when you score, you concede. And Cameroon's defense has not been tight enough. They've only kept 1 clean sheet against Gambia. So the debate here is how able is Cameroon to score and keep a clean sheet. There is no game in the tournament where they've come back from a goal down. They've all been beginning to score. If Egypt can get a goal before Cameroon, how do they respond? If Vincent Abubakar and Toko Ekambi are shut down by the Egyptians' defense. Who is there to respond for them?
Yeah.
Do Cameroon have another player? And I'm sorry, so far, there hasn't been any other player apart from these two strikers. So who is going to rise up in this moment if they are completely shut down by the Egyptians' defense? These are the questions that Cameroon has to answer. And we have also a ghost looming on the hosts. Yeah? Because the last host team to win the AFCON was Egypt in 2006. No other host has been able to win the AFCON as a host team. So is Cameroon ready to rise against the ghost that is looming on their heads? Those are the questions they need to answer going into this fixture. Remember, the FA president Samieto has equaled this game to a war, which has not gone well with the Egyptian coach Carlos Queiroz. So these are some of the stats behind the scenes that shall really work out going into this match. Is Cameroon ready to light up the tournament once again?
Maybe as we wrap up, you don't think the likes of Collins Fai are able to protect the Cameroon squad?
They have not shown that intention.
They
have not shown. They've left the responsibility solely on Abubakar and Toko Ekambi.
So the strategy is get goals, just don't care about the back, so to speak.
No, they need to care about the back, because when you give chance to players like Mohamed Salah, players like Trezeguet, they're likely to cause harm. And for a team like Egypt, it's a very defensive team. Once they get a goal or two, that is enough for them to win a game. You'll be in big trouble. So the thing for Cameroon here is to avoid conceding an early goal. Conceding from Egypt, they need to score fast, as they've been doing previously in their games. But if they go down against Egypt, I assure you Cameroon will have a long day in Yaoundé.
Well, Shilenje, thank you so much for making time as always. I think tomorrow we are going to be here to talk about the finals. That is, depending on who wins tonight.
Likely. It's a big battle.
It's a big battle.
We'll wait to see.
We already know Senegal is going to be in the finals. So we're going to be here.
But I know Senegal shall also be licking their lips. Just waiting who qualifies. And I think for them, they'll be really hoping for Egypt to go through. Maybe to make light work out of them, because for Cameroon, they lost to Cameroon in 2002 finals, and they will not like to meet Cameroon again in this year's finals, especially that Cameroon are at home. It might be an advantage to them. So for Senegal, I know they'll be really praying for Egypt to go through, but that one has to be confirmed on the field of play. Okay.
Well, that's all the time that we had on today's edition of AFCON Highlights. Tomorrow we'll be here to talk about the big match that is going to be played over the weekend. That is, we already know Senegal is going to be in the final. So who's going to be winning tonight? Is the trophy going to go to Egypt, or the trophy is going to remain in Cameroon? Well, join me tomorrow on another edition of AFCON Highlights. See you tomorrow. Same place, same time.